of ensuring that they remain in school. He gave good examples of the opportunities that now exist for both genders, and encourage that there will be respect for children to remain in school, and that no one should receive bride price for children under 18 in the name of marriage. And that's a big milestone. The institution has gone ahead to also not only but ensure accountability. The guidelines that have been launched today talk about the requirement for a certificate from the cultural institution whenever there is a marriage. That ensures that they will be checking and only legalizing those marriages that take place between people who have had 18 years. But also the cultural structures that have the opportunity that the Queen will have to have this, to translate them as that, the fireside chats, and to be able to speak to girls about themselves, about taking care of themselves, as well as the opportunities that are there for them to stay and remain in school and have an opportunity to be educated. It was also very encouraging to hear Obusinga talk about the issue of domestic violence. As a region that has had high statistics in the area of domestic violence, he has come out strongly today talking about what is not acceptable as conduct within the community. He has highlighted that people need to help each other at home. He has talked about the structure at home being one of shared authority, and even acknowledged the multiple duties that women have at home, whether it's caregiving duties in the house and other tasks, farming and outside. And he said, let's help each other. That men can also help with some of the cooking or other tasks that are available at home. So he's made, I think, a very strong pronouncement on that. That would delay homes. The criminal justice system receives the effects that are in conflict. I think in the forward to these guidelines, the King has talked about the need to live in harmony as communities. I think what I see possibly happening is that harmony being developed. That we would not have violence at home that leads to criminal action, even more series of perpetuated poverty when one caregiver is out of the home because they have been incarcerated and they're in jail. And what he was trying to bring together is a preventative approach to what we are seeing now as domestic violence and sexual violence against children. These issues of child marriage are actually a crime. It is defilement. And so he's coming to say, don't do that, don't accept it as a cultural practice because it is against what is the law. And I think the opportunity that is there for other cultural institutions is to use to leverage that kind of protection at a home level. And that will open up many opportunities for education, completion of schools, opportunities at the economic space because people can get engaged and they are not losing their childhood or even getting caught up in the cycle of violence. Just as I highlighted today, the Uganda Demographic Survey has talked about the cycle of violence from 15 years. So to be able to cut that cycle of violence allows adults to be productive in society. So I think that's the opportunity for other cultures.
Thank you so much. My name is Kanyoni Geoffrey, the Minister for Information, Mobilization and Kingdom spokesperson of Rwenzururua. Today we have moved a step in gender issues. We have launched a book titled Policy Guidelines on Family Relations and Gender for Rwenzururua. I want to thank the team of IGM, International Justice Mission, for having been there for us as Rwenzururua to cite some of the cultural norms which are not in line with gender equality. Because we have realized that our forefathers had some customs that they were following which were limiting women to practice in some other activities for development and also growth as far as health is concerned. So these people helped us to identify these cultural norms, and today His Majesty has signed this policy into a law to be enforced by Rwenzururua officials. Mainly those are the cabinet members, the clan leaders, the chieftains, the sub-county, OBR sub-county chiefs and the SASA chiefs, so that this policy can be implemented in those categories, so that our people can be able to know exactly what the king is talking about as far as our customs that we are limiting the women for Waira culture and the Rwenzururua at large, to see that we are also inclusive in all the practices. But also we have these strong structures. These people will serve as a channel so that this information is disseminated to the consumers. We believe when we take these channels, we will have a community that is informed of the policy that has been launched today. And more so, I want to thank the International Justice Mission, because they have said we are going to have a meeting to discuss issues on the dissemination strategy. I am sure when we meet, we will have to discuss this in full so that we can be able to disseminate this information. I want also to thank the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development, the government of Uganda, because it is also part of this struggle. I also thank the government of Uganda for allowing International Justice Mission to come to Rwenzururua, specifically to obusinga Rwenzururua, to see that we move this step. So much, so much. The plans to translate this policy, this book, is there, because the director for International Justice Mission has accepted that. He has said we are going to work together to translate the message into our local language, which is Rwira, so that our people can understand these words in their own mother tongue. Thank you. Thank you.
Okwamena ninje Gadi Kule Kelemon, Minister of Youth, Arts na Talent Development obusinga Rwenzururua. Munawire tule tukalaunchinga ekitabo ekya policy guidelines on gender and family. Omwa launch ya munawire obusinga mwakabya enyana mutuhe message kandi enyana musakasale and our youth, especially abali mu docket yayi babambere bya bakayita our youth bakanywa omubatse kutse bijuma byembeba abande bayihane kibayirerembya abande wasangana ebaberetse metana in our youth okwabero beno. The rate of suicide is so high. Neromba wanyana musakasale okwa ministry yayi eye youth no kwa ministry ya gender erangirinde tukamitigatinga neriunzaho ebisibwebi ibwa onumulenge nganza ichao okudoketi yayi ende akatu kwa kanene tukamnya tutorohoro yesolution tuwete kandi tukabe tukayeteba kusangibwa abande bandu bane bana musaworuhoro neruko kalinkana tubo ruhoro ya makubera solution ukabi wa mayeteba ukabya ewo mabonesya nebya na abandu abawamasiye nyuma aba youth turangire tukake haya okwime bendo ebekatabangura obongo abande bakabetamu okutokoza bongo ebindu ebyo bekakira munarerekana netwalengekanya tutebitsibwe byose tukatunga byangahwaho erangire bitoma yunzaho aba youth twingeginge on sports activities omundu ewanatunga na ohuka seba nabande because no marujunga kwa bate an idle mind is a devil's workshop. So when your mind is so idle, you don't have anything you're concentrating on. Ukayuwa nerwaho esana ikakubandera eyamenya yita alenga omundono na mamu werache nukuti na moto na utemu one a youth skilling project. Tukanza aba youth tuba skilling in income generating activities. Bamenye ere kolera neko omwe kolera omo mundu akamabirushamu akasente enyangana solving ebitsibu biwebende ebemolebwa. 2 tuite sensitization workshops and seminars on mindset change. Obongo bwetunga ba youth tutolere etwabuhendura etwabuhushe okwitekereza ende oruhoro niyo solution eyabitsibu betowete. 3 organizing sports activities, sports and recreation activities. Etwaba engaginga aba mu drama, twaba engaginga mu drama, aba mupira twabahiro mu mupira, aba abantu aba abimbi twabahiro omu byeremba. Then nerenda tukaleta entrepreneur skills batoke eribye bane engaged ekyo program esinguma okoso tukaletaho eranga tuti aba youth tuma bahimba ndeke baruma
Bakoko. I'm the Minister of Gender, Rehabilitation and Disability Affairs of Rwenzururua. I take this opportunity to thank His Majesty Charles Mumbere Irimangoma for gracing today's launch, where we have been launching the policy guidelines on family and gender relations of this kingdom. And I would like to thank all the participants, that include the clan leaders, the chieftains, the cabinet members, the native sub-county chiefs, the CSOs, and other subjects of this institution. This message will be disseminated to the person down there, and the book has been written in English, but International Justice Mission has promised to translate the book into the Rwenzururua version to ensure that this information, every Munyarwenzururua and Munyarwenzurukari is in position to read the information that is in the book. Gender, we have teenage pregnancies, we have early marriages, and also the community, we're experiencing issues of the youth committing suicide. So we are going to look into this, to call all stakeholders and ensure that we critically analyze what would be the problem, and we have solutions to it, and make sure that we pass on this information to the youth and to our mothers and fathers, to ensure that we live in a calm society that gives glory and honor back to the Lord. We are looking at both sexes, the female and the male. But basically, in this case, the female are marginalized, and they are really taken as, we have those some of the negative cultural practices that have not been favoring the women to be in development. So we are looking at the women realizing what their roles are, and in this we are not saying women should not respect their husbands. They should, but it's all about collective responsibility, because a family cannot be built by one person. It needs collective responsibility, where the mother is very key in this, because she plays a very pertinent role in ensuring that they take care of the children, they cook for the children, they wash for them, and do all the necessary hygiene and sanitation at home. So here we are looking at the fathers also being part. There are some fathers also who are being who are suffering internally. Yes, but we're not saying that they are at the higher rate. Obviously, this now applies most on the ladies. So we are saying that families can be built when there is peace and unity in the family, and that's development.